just excited to get in there. And yeah, I just try and be the same, just another fight. Nothing more than just trying to prepare and beat the person in front of me.
Do you think it's just...
I think it'll be one fight and then he'll probably have to go back down.
Because of how it'll go?
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. Make a solid game plan and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuff in the takedown. But I'm pretty confident I can get this one done.
Well, Australia don't have wrestling.
Tension has escalated between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev, with Jack issuing a warning and promising a brutal game plan to take him down. With Jack's win, the anticipated fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev may have slipped away, but interestingly, Ilia himself had sensed this matchup was coming. In a conversation with Joe Rogan, he mentioned his belief that the fight would eventually happen. Joe also shared his thoughts, adding fuel to the speculation around a bout that has now become the talk of the town.
And if he wins, they're gonna make that fight happen against Islam.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, if Jack Della Maddalena wins, then Jack is the new welterweight champion. And, you know, maybe he fights Islam. That makes a lot of sense. The problem with Islam fighting Bilal is that they train together. And I think, you know, they had kind of said
how many guys we see fighting between each other that they used to train before?
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think they should fight.
Yeah, they should fight.
I definitely think they should fight. I think Khabib doesn't like that idea.
Yeah.
They have 500 fighters in the roster, at least.
Meanwhile, Brendan Schaub, sharing his thoughts on Jack Della Maddalena's upcoming fight, noted that Islam Makhachev could be even more dangerous at 170 than at 155. He expressed strong confidence in Maddalena's abilities, referencing his performance against Belal Muhammad, and highlighting that, with Craig Jones in his corner, Jack is shaping up to be a perfectly formidable opponent.
JDM beat his ass and forced him to fight his fight. Forced him to keep it on the feet. When they got in close, he really took advantage of it, and he just dominated him. JDM looked fantastic. Dominate him. You know, even though this fight card sucked Bigfoot's dick, there were serious implications because we know if Belal lost, then we're gonna get Islam up at 170, which is exciting. I think Islam's a bigger problem at 70 than he is 55. I think Islam not cutting all that weight and fighting at 70 is such a problem, And we'll find out, because JDM's the perfect guy to go against Islam, especially with Craig Jones in his corner, the Dagestani killer.
Furthermore, Brendan pointed out that after watching Jack Della Maddalena's success against Belal Muhammad, he's even more intrigued by the upcoming fight with Islam Makhachev. He predicted that the outcome will heavily depend on Makhachev's approach and suggested that Islam would need to start strong and engage early to make the fight even more electrifying.
After watching JDM and have that success against Belal, I'm even more intrigued for JDM versus Makhachev now. I think Makhachev's gonna have his hands full. If JDM beats him, good God, that's crazy. It's all gonna be predicated on can Makhachev get him down and earn.
Giving his insights, Charles Oliveira stated that Jack Della Maddalena is a fighter who breaks opponents down gradually, wearing them out as he moves forward. He noted that Islam Makhachev is a completely different type of challenge and could be even stronger at 170. Oliveira emphasized that Maddalena will need to adjust his game plan and adopt a more grappling-focused approach to be successful against Islam.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o cara.
As speculation around his next fight grows, Jack Della Maddalena remains focused on his training. With Craig Jones in his corner, he's looking more confident than ever. Reflecting on his journey working with Jones, Jack highlighted how Craig's continuous support has been instrumental in his development and how it has boosted his confidence ahead of his upcoming fight against Islam Makhachev.
I've been working, yeah, he's taking all. Nah, he helped me a lot. He's a smart guy, and he was he helped us a lot. Just he didn't come in and want me to change my whole style, but he just watched me grapple and just told me where he thinks I'm good at, and then he obviously tweaked some stuff, gave us a couple of stuff to work on, but yeah, just the beginning working with Craig as well, so we'll keep.
This was the first time.
No, I've probably maybe 3 or 4 separate occasions.
Okay, first time he corners you.
Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah, it was great. I had the OG corners, and then obviously being a main event championship, we had the +1, so we thought he was a great man for the job. It's not like he's a...
Explaining his mindset for achievement, Jack emphasized that he values the sport itself more than collecting belts. He expressed that his true passion lies in the love of the sport, with the belt simply being a part of the journey. With this mindset, he revealed that he's ready to take on and knock out any top contender that comes his way.
And the belt doesn't really mean too much. It's all about the fights, I feel.
The belt doesn't mean anything.
I mean, it's obviously whoever I beat the guy that had it, but there's a lot of guys that anyone can win on any given night. I think I can beat a lot of the top contenders. I back myself, and now it's time to start, knocking them off.
Did you feel like because it had been so long in between fights for you that people forgot how good you were going into this fight?
Yeah, I think I was pretty underestimated.
Yeah.
I think everybody counted me out. For the most part, I believe. Or not counting me out, but just if...
While Jack Maddalena remains confident in his pursuit to knock out future opponents, Islam Makhachev has warned him about the challenges that lie ahead. In a FaceTime clip with Jack, Islam took a personal jab, reminding him that the region he comes from doesn't have deep wrestling roots, which is a requirement to become an elite.
Well, Australia don't have wrestling.
On the other hand, Jack Maddalena is fully confident in his ability to take Islam down in their upcoming fight. Comparing Islam's fighting style to that of his last opponent, Belal Muhammad, Jack emphasized that Islam isn't as tough. He further claimed that while Islam shows good energy in getting back to his feet after takedowns, once Jack lands clean punches, Islam won't have the chance to get back up.
But I'm sure people are just going to assume that Islam will just take you down and submit me pretty quickly.
Do you think he'll be big enough for 170?
I think he just seems like a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be alright.
You think he'll stick around at 170, or do you think it's just...
I think he'll be one fight, and then he'll probably have to go back down.
Because of how it'll go?
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. I think, but Belal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward. But I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think, but Islam's the very good striker. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
Stuff for takedowns. If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my...
Jack further stated that Makhachev's striking is much easier to deal with compared to Belal Muhammad's. He asserted that he's coming in with a solid game plan specifically designed to take Islam down. Jack also revealed that he's training with Alexander Vulcganowski to prepare himself at the highest level.
I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Belal. The striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Belal because he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound #1. So it's a tough fight. But I guess we'll just watch all these fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuff in the takedown. But I'm pretty confident I can get this one done.
So Volkanovski's obviously fought him before.
Yep.
Will you pick Volk's brain?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely plan. After the last 2 fights, I've spent a bit of time in Wollongong. So yeah, I think probably the first stop, we go to Wollongong, talk to Volk.
His decision to train with Alexander Vulcganowski stems from Volkanovski's past experience fighting Islam Makhachev. By partnering with Vulcganowski and training under the mentorship of Craig Jones, Jack believes he'll be transformed into a beast by fight night. He also praised Craig Jones, noting that he'll be there to help him focus on the small details that make a big difference.
He's a legend, you know. He's obviously a master grappler. He's helped Volk out a lot. And yeah, just small details he's just helped us with, pretty much. Just small details that make a big difference. I think he definitely helped me a lot, and yeah, he'll help out. Obviously, he's prepared for Islam twice. Helped Volk out, I believe, that first fight to really stifle his strong suit, which is the grappling. So we'll be using Craig again. He'll be there to help us out for sure.
As the fight with Islam approaches, Robert Whittaker shared his thoughts, stating that any specific predictions would depend on how Islam looks after moving up in weight. He acknowledged that the fight won't be easy for Jack, but expressed confidence in his ability, highlighting Jack's hunger and athletic X factor that could bring out his best against Islam. Whittaker added that while Islam shares similar fighting skills with Belal, he's on a much higher level, so he can prove to be a greater danger.
But like I said, it is hard to try to get like an accurate gauge on what it's going to look like, not knowing how Islam is going to look when he moves up. Okay, it's always the question everybody asks when anybody is moving up a weight division or down a weight division. Okay, there's so many unknowns involved. But saying that, I think that Islam can do everything that Belal does, but way better. Okay, way better. So, and the fight, I thought Jack handedly had the fight, but it was a fight. Okay, so I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Jack, but I believe in Jack. I think he's got that X factor. He's got that hunger there.
Robert further acknowledged that while this opportunity presents a tough and different challenge for Jack Maddalena, he believes Jack is capable of doing the impossible. Reflecting on his stance, Whittaker mentioned watching Jack take on fighters like Gilbert Burns and Belal Muhammad, and said he sees a real chance for Jack to turn a new page in UFC history by defeating Islam Makhachev.
He's got the ticker, and just like with Belal, just like with Burns before, I think he can do the impossible.
With firm determination, and as the world prepares to see a different version of Jack, he reassures everyone that he's ready for the challenge ahead. He made it clear that the moment isn't putting any pressure on him, describing it as just another fight. Jack emphasized that his focus remains solely on training, preparing at his best, and beating Islam Makhachev.
I think in terms of current welterweights, he's definitely the #1 guy for sure.
Yeah. Any extra pressure? Now he's the champ, or are you just going about your business?
Not really. I like the belt. Really, it's not that. I like the matchups. Styles make fights, and I like the different challenges that every different fighter presents. So I'm just excited to get in there. And I just try and be the same. Just another fight. Nothing more than just trying to prepare and beat the person in front of me.
Sharing his excitement, Demetrius Johnson weighed in on the fight, highlighting the potential it brings. He noted that both fighters possess great skills, with exceptional movement and footwork. Johnson also pointed out that Islam Makhachev getting this opportunity is well-deserved and could be a defining step toward becoming a double champion.
I think Islam Makhachev has done enough. He's beat Volk twice. He's beat pretty much everybody in the lightweight division. Charles Oliveira. He hasn't fought Justin Gaethje. I think it's time for him to have the opportunity to become a double champ. And I like this fight a lot. I like it a lot because, they both move good on the feet. They both move a lot. Body kicks. You can definitely see Islam go for a double leg takedown, uses judo, his wrestling. And how would Jack Della respond? Jack Della's crisp on the feet as well, with his hands, his straight punches. They're both big 170ers, and I'm excited for this fight. If I had to guess, this fight will probably take place at MSG. Reason why I say that is because you have Jack Della who just fought. He's
revealing a possible date based on his speculation. Demetrius Johnson highlighted how both fighters could come together effectively for this bout, especially with Islam having the chance to become a double champion and Jack Maddalena already proving his dominance against Belal Muhammad. He also mentioned the suggested timeline, allowing Jack adequate time to recover and prepare fully for the fight.
He's pretty banged up, so let's give him 2 months to recover. That puts us in May, June, July. Okay, July. Then you have, I would like Jack Della to get at least 3 to 2 months to prepare for this fight. So July, August, September, October, November 5th is right when they're going to do it. So if I had to say it, they'll probably put this fight on next to hopefully John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. If I had to guess, this is going to be MSG, Madison Square Garden. That's when this fight's going to happen. But I'm very happy that they have decided to give Islam Makhachev the opportunity to fight for the 170-pound stripe.
Meanwhile, the exchange of banter, including Islam's tweet and Jack Della Maddalena's response, serves as a psychological pre-fight tactic aimed at intimidation and building anticipation, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the matchup. Henry Cejudo pointed out that all this back and forth has already amplified the hype around the fight. He revealed that Abu Dhabi is expected to be the location and predicted that Islam Makhachev would come out on top.
I think Islam Makhachev is going to beat him. I think he's going to become the 11th double double champ in UFC history.
Islam tweeted, "Keep it shiny, keep it nice for me." JDM, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, "Yeah, come get it.
Keep my belt clean." Okay, so the talking has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's gonna take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that. We're no longer gonna get Ilya versus Islam Makhachev just now, but we are going to get a fight at 155.
At the same time, Islam Makhachev is deep into training camp ahead of his highly anticipated fight against Jack Della Maddalena. Recent footage shows him focusing on powerful punching combinations paired with sharp leg striking, an indication that he's preparing to bring a well-rounded and aggressive game plan. His intensity in training reflects not just physical preparation, but a clear strategy to test Jack's striking defense and movement early in the fight. Acknowledging Islam Makhachev's hard work, his head coach Javier Mendez expressed strong confidence in Islam's ability to defeat Jack Della Maddalena. He asserted that Islam is going to deliver a peak performance and prove to be the kind of fighter Jack has never faced before in his entire career.
You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. You know, I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, you know, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, you know, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So, you know, Islam is a whole different animal than Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, you know, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible.
Javier further pointed out that another key factor is the weight class, emphasizing that Islam will prove to be a strong and capable fighter in the welterweight division. He asserted that Islam's move up in weight won't be an issue, dismissing any concerns and highlighting that the added weight will not hinder his performance.
You know, the weight is not super big for him either, so he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Adding to the ongoing discussion surrounding Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev, Javier Mendez further noted that the fight is moving toward finalization, with the remaining step being the official contract. He emphasized that Islam's decision is firm, and now it's just a matter of the UFC finalizing the deal. Mendez also revealed that an official announcement is expected within the next week.
Or Dubai, or UAE. That'd be nice if they give us that. I don't know what's going to happen. We do know Islam is going to make a decision, because I do know that there's been speculated that decision will be made after this, what the UFC is going to want to do, and you and I will hear very soon what the decision is going to be and what direction they're going to go. But I guarantee you it's going to be somewhere right along the lines of what we're talking about, unless contract negotiations fall apart all the time. So who knows, you know, where it's going to land. But we know one thing's for sure. We're going to know International Fight Week this week coming up.
Meanwhile, Australian coaching legend and Jack Della Maddalena's coach, Ben Vickers, expressed strong confidence in Jack's ability. While he acknowledged being familiar with watching Islam Makhachev fight and praised him as a brilliant athlete, Vickers firmly believes that this time Jack will knock Islam out.
I watched them. I had a lot of time on my hands in the last X amount of hours coming back from Canada, and I watched a bit of footage on Makhachev in particular the Poirier fight. And you know, I've never watched Makhachev before as a potential opponent. I've always just enjoyed him fighting because he's brilliant to watch. But I think Jack will knock him out.
Ben went on to highlight the flaws he's seen in many fighters and asserted that Jack is a complete package with stronger athleticism than most, including Islam. He reasoned that Jack's performance against Belal Muhammad is proof enough that he has what it takes to knock out Islam.
Not used to taking damage. He's not used to being in tough fights with someone pushing the pace. And he's been knocked out before. So, listen, Jack's got size on him. But Bilal's the perfect warm-up fight if you're going to fight Makhachev. So, but anyone, I see holes in them all, and I think Jack's the complete package. Add to all of his skills, the chin, and then just the pure will and grit to get the job done. Yeah, I feel very confident going into that fight.
There you have it. Jack Della Maddalena's unstoppable confidence, Islam Makhachev's intense preparation, and the verbal jabs heating up the fight game like never before. Experts are weighing in, predictions are flying, and the tension is real. Jack's warning is clear. He's coming to shock the world. So who's your money on? The rising knockout artist or the seasoned grappling master? Drop your predictions in the comments. Hit that like button if you're hyped. And don't forget to subscribe for all the latest fight breakdowns and updates. This one's going to be unforgettable. Stay tuned.